Hey, what's up, guys? It's Forrest here. This is going to be the last video. Just going to talk about what's actually on this sheet and other things you could possibly do to it if you're interested in collecting statistics on what the market did on any given day. So let's get right into it and talk about the sheet. On the sheet, you'll see you've got a couple of columns here. All the data for each day is put on a column. Let's see how that compares to the original sheet. So if you look at the original sheet from the book, that's over here on the right, and you can see the data is pretty similar. The difference is I guess the days are in their own little column, but the data is still the same. You see the same columns. You got the decline column, rally column. You've got the BH and BU columns, just like you do over here. On the Excel sheet, though, you've got a few additional things. You've got the range here. You also have the 3-day rally here, which is included on a version of the sheet in the original book too. And then you've got what I've labeled the phase, and that's just whether it's the buy day, the sell day, or the sell short day. 3 being sell short, 2 being sell day, 1 being buy day. So here on this sheet, similar to the original work, there's a circle around the sell day, the sell short day, and the buy day, and it repeats in the sequence throughout the rest of the sheet. It's the same way on this sheet here. You've got your buy day, your sell short day, and it repeats in the same sequence. In the book, what he did was what you expect on a buy day is the low to come before the high of the day. And what he did in the book was he put a little X mark, check mark if that's what occurred, and an X if that's what didn't occur. So on our sheet, if we look at a buy day, let's look at this green one here. This just tells you if it's green, that means the low occurred first, the way you expect it to, and if it's red, that means that didn't happen. So just let's look at a day here. So here on the 17th of February. Let's look at that day on the chart, and if we find the 17th of February here, you see that the high of the day actually occurred before the low of the day, which is not what you would want to see on a buy day. That's actually inverted. So you see here on the sheet on the 17th of February, that's why it's colored red. Let's look at on the 14th of February just for completeness, and this is the correct order. February, and we can see in fact the low actually did occur before the high of the day. So on the 14th of February, that's why it's green right there. So other things on the sheet, you've got the daily range, which is just the high of the day minus the low of the day. On the in the rally column, for example, what they did in the original work was if you had and the rally column can occur on a sell day or a sell short day. If it occurred on the sell day, in the book, the original, what he did was put a check mark above a number if it pierced the prior day's high. But instead, what we do is we actually put a box around it, so you can see some days have it and some days don't. Here's a day that doesn't actually have it. And that's a minor difference there. On the buy under columns, in there they put a check mark in the original book, but we turned it red. Similarly, there also is the 0 decline and 0 rallies. Those are actually depicted here. If you have a 0 decline, it's actually puts a green 0 there. And what that looks like on a chart is just, if you look at the 30th of November of last year, we'll see what that looks like. And what you see here is 0 decline, meaning that you had a gap up and price didn't even come down to touch the prior day's high. So in there you get a 0 decline. So that functionality is there too. So actually everything on the sheet works pretty well. But with all that being said, you might be able to do other things with this sheet too. So since most of the formatting is in Excel, you could create a new sheet and you can start compiling your own stats of things that you think might be valuable. For example, I'm not really good with Excel, but these are just, this just could be an example. Say for instance, you wanted to know what the average 3-day rally was, and the idea is that most of the 3-day rallies are positive, and this is supposed to be true in downtrends as well as uptrends. I'm going to put this on, tack this just on the sheet just so we can see it, but it would probably make more sense to put a bunch of numbers on another sheet. The average 3-day rally, which are these values here. So I'm just going to say equals average, and I'm going to just say average of column M here. Alright, and it's telling me that the average 3-day rally is 40 points. So from the buy day low to the short sell day high, the buy day low to the sell short day high is telling me that the average rally is 40 points. If you look at it and you probably average all these out, you can see how you probably come out with that number, right? So that could be one statistic. And another thing you could think of is, what is the average short sell day rally? And that is in this column. And when we talk about the short sell day rally, that could either be that's filled in 2 places in the same column. So to do that, we would just probably use, I guess, an average if probably. And the data that we have for this, we want to check the short sell day rally. So we want to check in this box here. So we would look for numbers when this was equal to 3. And I'm going to check that column. Okay, so now what this is telling me is that the average short sell day rally is 17 points. So if you look here on your short sell days, you can kind of imagine if you looked at all these and averaged them out, you would come up with about 17 points. So I'm not trying to explain what all these values are. I would suggest you either post about that in the thread, or you probably read the original book. But you could also click up here, hover over here, and you will see what all these columns are as well, so you can figure that out. But I think that's about it. So I encourage everybody that's interested in collecting stats like this to play with this or modify it, and share your better sheets that you might have and post them in a thread. So that's it. Thanks.